MadBhagavad, Chapter-16, Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, the divine and demoniac natures defined. Verse 1, 2, and 3. Lord Krishna, the possessor of all opulences, said, fearlessness, pure-heartedness, established in the wisdom of discrimination of spirit and matter, by the science of uniting the individual consciousness with the ultimate consciousness. Charity, self-restraint, performance of sacrifice, study of Vedic scriptures, austerity, uprightness, non-violence, truthfulness, aversion to fault-finding, compassion to all beings, absence of avarice, gentleness, modesty and determination. O Arjuna, radiance, forgiveness, fortitude, purity, freedom from malice, absence of pride, arise in one born of the divine nature. 4. Pseudo-religiosity, pretentious pride, conceitful arrogance, anger, harshness, and ignorance arise in one born of the demoniac nature. Verse 5. The divine nature is considered the cause of liberation, and the demoniac nature the cause of bondage. Do not worry, O Arjuna. You are born of the divine nature. There are only two types of created beings in the material worlds, the divine and the demoniac. The divine has been described extensively. Now hear from me, O Arjuna, of the demoniac. Verse 7. Persons of demoniac nature cannot understand actions in their best spiritual interests, and actions in their worst spiritual interests. There is never purity, nor good conduct, nor even truth in them. The persons of demoniac nature say the entire cosmic manifestation is unreal, without a creator, without a supreme controller, without cause, originating from mutual cohabitation, due only to lust, no more than Verse 9. Accepting this vision, the demoniac, being deficient in spiritual intelligence, having lost contact with their soul, degradedly engage in abominable activities to influence the destruction of the universe. Verse 10. Addicted to insatiable lusts, the demoniac, irrational due to arrogance, vanity, and conceit, out of illusion endeavor for impermanent things, engaging in impure acts by premeditated Verses vows. 11 and 12. Overwhelmed with a life full of unlimited fears and anxieties, the demoniac consider that the gratification of the senses as the highest goal of life. Being bound by the entanglement of hundreds of schemes, overcome by lust and anger, striving to accumulate wealth illicitly for the purpose of gratifying their senses. Verses 13, 14, and 15. This was gained by me today, they say. I shall obtain this according to my desires. This wealth is mine, and in the future more also will come. This enemy has been killed by me, and furthermore I shall kill other enemies. I am the controller. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am rich and aristocratic. Is there another who is like me? I will perform sacrifice. I will give in charity. I will rejoice. Thus the demoniac are deluded by ignorance. Verse 16. Afflicted with innumerable fears and anxieties, enveloped in a net of illusions, engrossed in gratification of the senses, they glide down into abominable hells. Verse 17. Self-complacent, impudent, deluded by vanity and haughtiness due to wealth, the demoniac performs sacrifices out of pride, in name only. Such sacrifices are performed without any regard for scriptural Verse 18. Injunctions. Possessed of self-conceit, power, insolent, lust, and anger, the demoniac always envious, blasphemy me, who is the soul residing in all bodies. Verse 19. Those envious, cruel, evil, lowest of mankind, verily I hurl perpetually into the cycle of birth and death, into the wombs of the demoniac. Verse 20. O Arjuna, entering demoniac wombs, birth after birth, these fools receive an even more abominable destination, unable to achieve me. Verse 21. The three kinds of doorways to hell are lust, anger, and greed. Therefore these three are so destructive to the embodied self, they must be abandoned. Verse 22. O Arjuna, A person being liberated from these three doorways of nescience performs austerities for the embodied self, thereafter reaching the supreme goal. Verse 23. One who transgresses the injunctions of the Vedic scriptures, whimsically acting under the impulse of desire, never attains perfection, neither happiness nor the supreme. Verse 24. Therefore, the injunctions of the Vedic scriptures in ascertaining what should be done and what should not be done are your authority. Knowing the ordinance of the Vedic scriptures as prescribed, you should perform actions in this world as a matter of duty. Thus ends the Sri Bhagavad Gita Trust translation of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 16, entitled Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, the Divine and Demoniac Natures Defined.